Opening statements are expected to begin today at former President Donald Trump's hush money trial, and a few witnesses could also take the stand. Let's get right to Good Day's Robert Moses. He joins us live from outside that courthouse in Lower Manhattan with a preview of what to expect from today's proceedings. Robert, good morning.
Tishani, good morning to you. Jury selection wrapped up fairly quickly given the high-profile nature of these proceedings. Today, the arguments begin in the case known as the State of New York versus Donald J. Trump.
This is a giant witch hunt to try and hurt a campaign that's beating the worst president in history.
Today, a jury of 7 men and 5 women, along with 6 alternates, will hear opening statements in a trial that could eventually brand the 45th president and potentially the 47th a felon. After opening statements, the first prosecution witness is expected to be David Pecker, who once ran the company that owned the National Enquirer. Pecker balked at paying Stormy Daniels for her story of a sexual encounter with Donald Trump. But Pecker notified the former president's longtime fixer and attorney Michael Cohen, who then paid her on his boss's behalf to stay quiet. Prosecutors allege the former president falsified business records to hide the nature of those payments to Daniels from voters during the 2016 election. Cohen is expected to be the prosecution's star witness. Since the former president's attorneys will likely attack Cohen's credibility given a past conviction for lying to Congress, former federal prosecutor David Katz expects prosecutors to come armed with paperwork.
We'll also hear a lot of corroboration in the form of records.
The hush money trial is not the only legal proceeding today involving the former president on Center Street. As opening statements get underway at 100 Center, at 60 Center, Judge Arthur Engoron presides over a hearing about the $175 million bond that former President Trump posted earlier this month while he appeals a $454+ million judgment for fraudulently inflating the value of his assets. Attorney General Letitia James argued in a court filing last week that the bond company, Knight Specialty Insurance Company, may not be able to come up with the money if the former president cannot. And she says the company is not authorized to do such work in New York. She's asking Engoron to void the bond. Should he do so and the former president doesn't come up with a replacement within 7 days, James could move quickly to start seizing his assets, including bank accounts and properties. And on Friday, a man lit himself on fire in the park right across the street from the criminal courthouse. He was critically injured but eventually died from those injuries. This morning, police tell me they are still evaluating whether to keep the park open during the trial. We're live outside criminal court this morning. Tishani, back to you.
Robert, thank you.